没出来呢这个。Hello. Okay. Can you show the slide? Okay. Okay, on our side event, we'll start now. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, welcome to our side event, Ecological Civilization and Tackling Climate Change. Today, we will have 8 speakers who will give us the updated views about the ecological civilization and concrete cases about the synergy between major environmental issues and tackling climate change. And I totally believe you will have the eye-opening experience by their concrete cases. And now, first, let me introduce Ms. Li Ruidong, the Deputy Secretary General of All China Environmental Federation, for the opening speech. Okay, you can just show the screen of the Mr. Li Ruidong. There's no audio. Mm.
不行，我打开不行了。
对，李秘书长，您可以再重新来一遍。他刚才那个视频的音频没有接入。
你那个他没给权限，现在我这儿没法操作上去。
您稍等一下，他那边技术在解决这个问题。
你那个麦能不能关一下？就是回音能不能关一下？我这儿是关着的。你把你的关了，把我打开，我把我的打开。
哦，好的，我这边没有开回音。
你好，现在能？
啊，能听到，能听到。
尊敬的各位来宾、先生们、女士们，大家好！非常高兴参加本届全国气候大会由中央航空联合会主办的杭州市2010年的编会。2022年10月 根据实施碳达峰行动，深入推进能源革命，加强煤炭清洁高效利用，加快规划建设新型能源体系，积极参与因为气候变化全球治理。中国以1+N政治体系确定了双碳目标的时间表、路线图和施工图，目前正在全方位大力推进，体现了中国的大国担当对推动全球气候变化治理起到了积极的推动作用。当前世界之变、时代之变、历史之变正在以前所未有的方式展开，但人类只有一个地球，大自然是人类赖以生存发展的基本条件。无止境地向自然索取，甚至破坏自然，必然会遭到大自然的报复。只有倡导生态文明理念，站在人与自然和谐共生的高度努力发展，保护生态生物多样性，打造人类命运共同体，才能使我们的地球家园更加美好、更加和谐。中华环保委员会是经国务院批准、民政部注册，接受生态环境部和民政部业务指导及监督管理，由热心环保事业的人士、企业、事业单位自愿结成的非营利性的全国性的社团组织，具有联合国环境治安地位。自2005年以来，坚持大中华、大环境、大联合的理念，在环境维权、公益输送、国际交流与合作、论坛展览展示、会员服务、环境宣传与教育、环保术推广与应用、团体标准制定等方面做了大量领域环保事业发展工作，得到了社会各界的广泛认可。为此，我们呼吁世界各国履行承诺，行动起来，为应对气候变化全球治理贡献力量。
Okay, thank you for Mr. Li Ruidong and his speech. And next, we will have Mr. Lu Qiong, the Assistant Professor of the Central Institute of the Socialism, to have the speech about the ecological civilization and the sustainable development goals. And she is have the video speech. Now I will play the video. So give me the audio. Do not have audio here.
你把你的麦打开。我们怎么也听不到他那儿的声音呢？
Okay, here's the technical problem here. So can you give me the audio here from this computer? Yeah. Can you have the audio here? Okay. “他们可能没有去线上线下同时搞过，所以他们技术人员可能不太懂得这个情况。他要切换一下。
1秒，现在我刚才发言听到吗？
可以的。
现在还是从开始变还是怎么回事？
没事，我就是继续往下播放这个视频的好了。
你是播的视频是吧？
对。
好嘞，那待一会儿杨主任那个
的。我们先让他调试一下，他这边技术上出现问题了。Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, here we have some technical problem here, and our study will suspend for about 10 minutes, and later we will start on. 那李秘书长要不要一会儿从头再走一遍，用您那个视频再放一遍？
再来一遍吧，再重新来一遍，重新开始吧，因为刚才效果不太好。
It's okay. Here is okay.
哦。
Do I have audio here? Sorry, we do not have the audio. Sorry? Sorry? But I have a video here, but there's no sound here.
Okay.
So what happened? Maybe I can try to use another. Wait a minute. Can I play this one? This is okay?
Do you have the USB?
I have a jump drive. Yeah. I can play here. This will have sound here.
I will tell you.
他这块现在已经。
这没声儿，他们技术人员搞不定这个问题。我 play video 了，我换了方式 play 也没有声儿。不知道他这玩意儿，它这技术有问题，完全没有声音啊。
咱们还有那个投屏是吧？你上
Audio?
他那个现在呢全给过了。
No sound, no sound.
这不行，算了，背景我们就不调。我也不行。
我去处理一下吧，它这个有点问题。
Hello, everybody. It's so nice to meet you in COP27.
Okay.
I'm Lu Chung, Assistant Professor.
Okay. Let's start again. 那李部长，我从您的那个视频开始重新播放一下吧。Sorry for
尊
this
敬的各位来
interruption.
宾，
We'll start it
女
again.
士们，大家好！非常高兴参加本届联合国气候大会由中华环保联合会主办的传播生态文明理念的编会。2022年10月22日上午，举世瞩目的中国共产党第20次全国代表大会在北京胜利闭幕。习近平主席首次在报告中提出，中国式现代化是人与自然和谐共生的现代化，人与自然是生命共同体，尊重自然、顺应自然、保护自然，是全面建设社会主义现代化国家的内在要求。回顾党的18大以来的10年，中国坚持绿水青山就是金山银山的理念，坚持节约优先、保护优先、自然恢复为主的方针，坚定不移地走生态发展、生活富裕、 生态良好的文明发展道路，坚持像保护眼睛一样保护自然和生态环境，坚持山水林田湖草沙一体化保护和系统治理，深入开展蓝天碧水净土保卫战。生态环境发生了历史性、转折性、全局性的变化，祖国的天更蓝，水更绿，山更绿，水更清，是人民群众感受最直接的巨大变化之一。应对气候变化，巴黎协定代表了全球绿色低碳转型的大方向，是保护地球家园需要采取的最低限度行动。各国必须迈出坚定性步伐。中国作为负责任的大国，2020年9月22日，习近平主席在第75届联合国大会一般性辩论上宣布，中国将提高国家自主贡献力度，采取更加有力的政策和措施，二氧化碳排放力争于2030年前达到峰值，努力争取2060年前实现碳中和。党的20大报告中提出，积极稳妥推进碳达峰、碳中和，立足我国能源资源禀赋，坚持先立后破，有计划、分步骤实施碳达峰行动，深入推进能源革命，加强煤炭清洁高效利用，加快规划建设新型能源体系，积极参与应对气候变化全球治理。中国以1+N 政策体系确定了双碳目标的时间表、路线图和施工图，目前正在全方位大力推进，体现了中国的大国担当，对推进全球气候变化治理起到了积极性的推动作用。当前世界之变、时代之变、历史之变正以前所未有的方式展开，但人类只有一个地球，大自然是人类赖以生存发展的基本条件，无止境地向自然索取，甚至破坏自然，必然会遭到大自然的报复。只有倡导生态文明理念，站在人与自然和谐共生的高度，谋利发展，保护生物多样性，打造人类命运共同体，才能使我们的地球家园更加美好、更加和谐。作为环保社会组织，我们呼吁世界各国履行承诺，行动起来，为应对气候变化全球治理贡献力量。谢谢大家。
Okay, now we finish the opening speech now, and we need to catch up. So next we'll go to the Ms. Lu Qiong, the assistant professor of the Central Institute of Socialism.
Hello, everybody. It's so nice to meet you in COP27. I'm Lu Qiong, assistant professor of the Central Institute of Socialism. Today, I want to share my opinions about the ecological civilization and the sustainable development goals. Ecological civilization describes a society in which human beings are harmonious with nature and the people are harmonious with each other. It's a vision of Chinese for further sustainable development. In 2012, the construction of ecological civilization was established as a national action in China, and in 2015, 17 SDGs were adopted by United Nations Sustainable Development Summit, most of which are in accordance with ecological civilization directly. The harmony between human beings and nature requires climate change mitigation, ecosystems preservation, pollutant reduction, and so on. The harmony in human society needs to eradicate poverty, create more jobs, encourage innovation, and build partnerships between different countries and regions. Furthermore, ecological civilization emphasizes collaborative achievement of multi-objectives on systemic approach, which is expected by the 2030 Agenda as well. In fact, China has started ecological civilization practice before the concept formulation. Bijie, a remote mountainous area in Guizhou province, has a population of 6 million, and more than 60% of them will suffered from poverty generation after generation. Experts recognized that the poverty was closely related to the ecosystem damage. Most of the people were bound to the land due to the almost black traffic. The coastlines were over-reclaimed broadly. Then soil erosion and stony desertification happened everywhere. Poor harvests led to long-term and deep poverty. To eliminate poverty in Bijie, what was the most important work? Not foods, not jobs either. Nature, or the ecosystem, is the most essential base of the society. Since 1988, Bijie began to turn grain for green on a large scale. Farmers could get foods or cash assistance from central and local government. Crops, what are more easily cause soil erosion, are replaced by selected fruits, vegetables, and herbs, which also have higher value in the market. With the help of constantly improving transportation network, local inhabitants can find more jobs in other cities, and more travelers arrive to visit the wetlands, karst caves, and the unique National Reserve of Rhododendron, a kind of beautiful flowers. In 2020, all the 6 million people there got rid of poverty. About 30 years later, the forest coverage in Bijie increased to 60% from 15%, and we believe the forest will create more value in mitigating the climate change in the future. Ecological civilization in China also focuses on the heritage, communication, and mutual learning of ecological cultures and wisdom. We learn from our long history. This is a traditional water source in Gushen village in Yunnan province. A stream flows into this binationality village from the Cangshan mountain and down to the Erhai Lake. The Three Eye Sink was one of the social centers of the village, and also it was an excellent pilot case of water use. People draw drinking water from the first sink, clean food in the second, and wash clothes in the third one. Depending on this design, a fair and equitable order was kept for hundreds of years. Now, these sinks have been decorated as souvenirs, for the whole village has built a modern water supply and sanitation system. However, the cascade utilization of water still inspires present activities. Rivers and streams carry much nutrient material after they flow through villages and towns on the foot of Cangshan Mountain. The terminal of these rivers and streams, Erhai Lake, then turned into eutrophication. Local communities are turning the vegetable farms into organic paddy fields, for the latter can purify the water and grow rice in high quality. On the other hand, China learns from the experiences of other countries and makes some innovation according to our own conditions. Limited by energy structure and development phase, China is confronted with huge emissions of pollutants and greenhouse gases at the same time, which is different with those industrialized countries. China has proposed a synergic access of pollution and carbon reduction. Obviously, pollution control will bring cleaner water, fresher air, and safer soil, which will promote the health and well-being of Chinese. This is a waste incineration power plant in the city center of Changzhou, Jiangsu province. It's more than a low-carbon power plant. Series of strict emission standards push the company to improve their technology and management. That makes the neighbor communities more satisfied. The library set in the no-wall plant has been a public center in this city block. Ecological civilization is to guide the Chinese to a beautiful future. In this respect, ecological civilization and sustainable development own the same connotation. We wish a more beautiful China and a more beautiful world with you.
Okay. Thank you for Ms. Lu Qiong and her speech. And next, we will have the director of the Beijing Fengtai Education Commission, Yang Xiaohui, to have his speech about the ecological civilization and advocacy. And Ms. Yang Xiaohui, you can share your screen now.
尊敬的各位女士们、先生们，大家好！非常荣幸能参加本届联合国气候大会由中华环保联合会主办的生态文明与应对气候变化主题编会。党的20大报告提出，中国式现代化是人与自然和谐共生的现代化，推进生态文明建设，是我们对自然规律及人与自然关系再认识的重要成果，是中华民族永续发展的必然要求。教育是培养认知的基础，开展青少年生态文明教育，有利于促进全社会形成尊重自然、顺应自然、保护自然的绿色价值观念，有利于提升环境保护的自发动力。党的18大以来，在绿水青山就是金山银山的理念指引下，中国各级各类学校都十分重视生态文明教育。中国的青少年都从点滴小事做起，学习生态文明发展理念，践行绿色低碳生活方式，养成节能环保行为习惯。少年兴则国兴，青少年的生态文明意识与习惯，在很大程度上决定了国家生态保护工作的未来。据志愿中国平台数据显示，2021年青年参与生态环境保护志愿活动的场次、参加人次和志愿服务时长，分别达到14.6万场、495万人次和1657万小时，同比2019年分别增长了101%、80%和76%。我所在的北京市丰台区的青少年，也在学校的引导下，开展了生态文明知识竞赛、光盘行动、节水节电、绿色出行、落叶堆肥、生活废品再利用等丰富多彩的生态文明创建活动。绿色、环保、节约正成为越来越多青少年生活方式的重要特征。借此机会，我结合我们开展的工作，对青少年生态文明理念的培育提出几点思考，供大家参考。一、学校是生态文明教育的大舞台，教育要从娃娃抓起，生态文明教育更应该从娃娃抓起。我们要持续推动生态文明教育融入学校教育教学各方面，教育引导广大中小学生树立生态文明理念，养成尊重自然、顺应自然、保护自然的生态意识，形成绿色低碳、节水节电、减少食物浪费等绿色生活方式，让青少年成为生态文明理念的积极传播者和实践者。二、家庭是青少年生态文明教育滋生的沃土，父母是孩子的第一任老师，良好的家庭氛围有利于青少年成长和文明习惯的养成。给青少年生态文明教育，家庭要承担重要责任，家长要以身作则，多给孩子们讲解人与自然的关系，传递要像保护眼睛一样保护生态环境的意识，带头改正乱丢垃圾、铺张浪费等不良的生活习惯，与孩子一起打造 节约资源、爱护公物、保护环境的家庭文化和生活方式。3、青少年生态文明教育离不开各类社会实践活动。生动的实践是社会能够提供给青少年学习成长的广阔课堂。我们要从青少年能够接触到的生活点滴入手，充分利用各种社会资源，组织孩子们参加形式多样、丰富多彩、喜闻乐见的生态文明实践活动。通过活动培养他们崇尚节俭生活，提倡绿色消费，反对自私的享乐观，拒绝铺张浪费的行为，努力成为有生态责任感的公民。4、青少年在生态文明教育方面要营造良好的文化氛围。中国5000多年的文明积淀了丰富的生态智慧，天人合一、道法自然的哲学思想，劝君莫打三春鸟，而在巢中望母归等经典诗句，都能给人生态文明的深刻启迪。我们倡导从各类文化资源中汲取生态文明的智慧，并结合新的社会发展与实践，向广大青少年讲好生态文明建设的精彩故事，为青少年成长营造人与自然和谐共生的良好氛围，引导他们将生态文明的理念内化于心，外化于行。中国作为全球生态文明建设的参与者、贡献者和引领者，正在以身作则，深度参与世界生态文明理念传播与环境治理工作。北京市丰台区作为中国首都的中心城区，正在以自己的积极努力与不断探索，引导青少年增强生态文明意识，提升生态文明素养。在此，我们呼吁大家深刻认识生态文明建设不仅是教育工作者落实立德树人根本任务的重要内容，更是国家、全球可持续发展的一项基础性、长期性、战略性的工程。让我们本着这样的共识，携起手来，继续汇聚全球智慧，凝聚青年力量，共同建设地球生命共同体，为子孙、为人类、为地球书写生态文明建设的新篇章。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Mr. Yang Xiaohui. And next, we will have Ms. Ma Muyuan from the number 18 High School of Beijing to have the initiative releasing part. Now you have the floor.
Global warming is already affecting every region on Earth. Rising temperature, rising sea level, and frequent extreme weather events have posed severe challenges to human survival and development, and posed major and long-term global threats to food, water, ecology, energy, infrastructure, and people's lives and property safety. At present, the effects to climate change are becoming more apparent. Time is also running out for humanity to respond to climate change. In this context, there is no time to lose in the global fight against climate change. As a student from Beijing No. 18 Middle School and youth delegate of All China Environment Foundation, I launched the following initiatives. Firstly, be a guardian of Earth. As the Chinese saying goes, all beings flourish when they live in harmony and receive nourishment from nature. The Earth is the homeland of humanity and even all living species. The ecological environment of Earth is the foundation for the survival of all life. The harmonious development of humanity and nature is the inevitable choice to build beautiful home on the Earth. We must protect nature and the environment as we do our own lives and work to create a new pattern of humanity between humanity and nature. We must uphold and act on the principle that lucid water and lush mountains are invaluable assets. We must remember to maintain harmony between humanity and nature when planning our development, and coordinate efforts in high-quality economic development and high level of ecological environment protection. We must uphold the philosophy of harmonious coexistence between harmony and nature, strengthen international exchanges and cooperation in ecological environment protection, work together to address the challenges of climate change and to protect the Earth, the common home of mankind. Secondly, be a follower of the ideas of ecological civilization. Each of us is a protector, builder, and beneficiary of the ecological environment, and ecological civilization is a common cause which requires common participation and joint efforts with shared development. We shall pursue green and low-carbon development, accelerate the transition to a model green development, take more vigorous and effective actions to steadily reduce the intensity of carbon emissions, and promote the early realization of carbon peak and carbon neutrality goals. We shall shape thrifty and healthy social trends in living standard by promoting simple, green, and low-carbon lifestyles and opposing extravagance and excessive consumption. We shall actively participate in eco-environment protection volunteer activities and promote environmental protection policies, implement green action, and supervise to safeguard eco-environment. Thirdly, be a participant in global environmental governance. Human beings share a common future in the face of the challenges presented by global climate change, and no country can make itself immune from the impact. We should work together, take an active part in global environmental governance, and promote the establishment of a fair and rational system for global environmental governance based on mutually beneficial cooperation. We shall follow the principles of respecting and protecting nature and obeying nature's laws, and pursue green, low-carbon, circular, and sustainable development. We shall adhere to the principles of common but differentiated responsibilities, develop viable goals and visions, and do our best to promote the effective implementation of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and its Paris Agreement in an overall and balanced manner. Climate change poses pressing, formidable, and long-term challenges to us all. Let's take the initiative to act as a role model in protecting our homeland, Earth, disseminating and protecting the ideas of ecological civilization, and participating in global environmental governance. Let's build a beautiful world with favorable climatic weathers for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ma Yuan. And please turn back to my slide here on site. Okay? Now I'll play the slide here. Yeah? Well, yeah.
The other slides?
The slide, can you just give me back?
You want this to be shared?
Yeah, to be shared. Okay. Now we go back to the on-site part. And we go through the part 2, the case sharing. Now we have 4 cases about the synergy between different environmental issues and tackling climate change. And the first, we will have the Zhao Lu, founder of the EcoBuyer, and he will give us the video speech about the ecological protection and tackling climate change. Okay, and give me the sound, please. Okay.
It's a pleasure to be here and share with you what we are doing to combat climate change. And thanks for the invitation from UNCCC, All China Environment Federation, and the Plant Technology Alliance. EcoBuyer is the earliest collection store in mainland China that focuses on sustainable consumption. We have made explorations in sustainable fashion and circular design. Currently, we mainly focus on plant-based food and vegan clean beauty. We are popular with Chinese consumers in sustainable food and beauty field. You know, the Chinese government has officially proposed to achieve carbon peaking in 2030 and carbon neutrality in 2060. At present, this requirement has been deeply rooted in China, and all walks of life are striving to realize this requirement through new technologies and new business models. The field that EcoBuyer is engaged in belongs to the consumer field, although the consumption sector, in other words, the lifestyle sector, may account for a smaller proportion of carbon emissions than the traditional energy sector in terms of total volume. This sector is actually concerned with all aspects of personal life. If people can adopt a green, low carbon, and sustainable lifestyle, it will affect the carbon emissions of many industries and fields. And more importantly, through lifestyle changes, people will become more aware of crisis of climate change. The theme of today's session is ecological protection and climate change. I will start with what we are doing and talk about ecological protection measures and climate change responses in the plant-based food and beauty consumer sectors. What we call plant-based food or plant-based protein food refers to products such as artificial meat and plant milk that replace traditional meat, eggs, and milk. The production process of these products does not involve slaughtering animals and therefore reduces the number of animals raised and the amount of grain grew to feed them. Carbon emissions from farming and animal husbandry account for about 90% of global carbon emissions. Studies have shown that plant protein is also a source of high quality protein. To a certain extent, the protein nutrition required by humans can come from plants. However, we know the meat, eggs, and milk have made great contributions to the development of human civilization. It's not very realistic to want people to give up eating real meat products entirely. Therefore, we just want to give you one more consumption choice through artificial meat, including plant meat and cell culture meat. What we want to tell you is that eating less animal products without affecting your health will have a positive impact on ecological protection and climate change. At present, we have cooperated with dozens of brands around the world to sell plant-based protein foods in China, and tens of thousands of Chinese consumers buy plant-based protein foods through EcoBuyer every year. And this data is growing. And what we named vegan and clean beauty means that all beauty products are animal-free. In other words, there is no any animal ingredients. Secondly, the safety of those beauty products is confirmed by other methods before going to market, instead of traditional animal testing. We call it cruelty-free. At the same time, all beauty products don't contain ingredients that have a negative impact on the environment. We advocate eco-friendly materials and methods in product package and transportation. Of course, the absence of ingredients that pose a safety risk to the human body is also a standard that we must adhere to. At present, in the field of beauty cosmetics, we have also competed with dozens of brands around the world. Through our sales, nearly 100,000 Chinese consumers have used beauty products that protect animals, environment, and their own health. So, we adhere to the 4 major product standards: vegan, clean, sustainable, and functional. We use Veg Up Your Health as the slogan to recommend many domestic and foreign sustainable brand products to more Chinese consumers, and call on everyone to pay attention to sustainable big health issues such as animal welfare, natural ecology, climate change, and social equality, while paying attention to their own health. At present, EcoBuyer has launched several offline pop-up activity or campaign in Beijing and Shanghai, and will be launched in more cities in China. Online, we now have a WeChat mini program, comprehensive mall, and 2 Taobao stores, which are supported by the platform and loved by users. I would like to show you that how we fighting for climate change through an offline store we opened in Shanghai. First of all, we have created a desert atmosphere in the design of the entire store after human beings have undergone a certain climate change. And in this world full of crises, there is only one tree to show the importance of ecology to human beings. A tree also fits our name, Eco, one tree. The shelves where we display our products are the used pallets that we collected from the docks in Shanghai. The stones on the pallet were also picked up from the construction site. The flowers and plants used for decoration are discarded and dried up flowers that we picked up from the flower shop. Then, in such a recycling sense, we display sustainable consumer goods such as vegan, clean beauty, and plant-based protein foods that we sell. To remind everyone to use their practical actions to protect the ecology and address the challenge of climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, from an eco-buyer's point of view, protecting the ecology and meeting the challenge of climate change are not only the business of government and the big companies, but also the business of consumers and ordinary citizens of the world. It is business of everyone. If there are some seeds that ordinary people can't touch, but developing a good, green, And low carbon lifestyle is something that each of us can do. EcoBuyer is willing to advocate and influence more people to pay attention to and practice such measures in China, which is still the world's largest country by population and the world's second largest economy. It is our dream to make every meal and every bottle of cosmetics more green, low carbon, and sustainable. Thank you very much. Welcome to visit us in China.
Okay, thank you. Now we go to the next speaker, and this is also the only one that is coming on site. Deng Yuyao from the LONGi Hydrogen, and her theme is about renewable energy and tackling climate change. And Yuyao, you have the floor.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Deng Yuyao, lead of international marketing and the business development of LONGi Hydrogen. Today is my honor here to deliver a speech regarding to the green power plus green hydrogen, which we believe is the best solution to achieve carbon neutrality. In the past 1 century, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels. And it was still increasing. Carbon emissions has made the contradiction between human and nature. For our planet, now it is on the verge of danger. Deep decarbonization is extremely urgent. In 2015, the Paris Agreement proposed to limit the temperature rise within 2 degrees and strive to be under 1.5 degrees as a long-term goals. Since then, lots of countries set up their strategies to achieve the targets. In 2020, China announced the commitment for peaking carbon emissions by 2030 and reaching carbon neutrality by 2060. We commit, we set up our targets, and now the question is how to make it happen. As we know, green power, such as solar, wind, thermal, and hydropower, plays a significant role in the energy transition to a green future. However, for the industrial deep decarbonization, green hydrogen, which means hydrogen is produced by using renewable energy to power the electrolysis of water, is highly needed in different industries which are hard to electrify, such as coal chemical, petrochemical, iron, steel, metallurgy, transportation, etc. So we believe that on the road of deeper decarbonization, only the model of green power plus green hydrogen can accelerate the energy transition, fundamentally solve the carbon emission problem, and effectively overcome the intermittent and storage problem of the renewable energy. Now, I would like to make a brief introduction about LONGi. LONGi was founded in 2000 and is committed to being the most compelling solar technology company by leading the world's transition to green energy. LONGi Hydrogen was established in March last year, which is a holding subsidiary of LONGi. We provide the green hydrogen production solution with focus on alkaline water electrolysis system. Our headquarters is in Xi'an, Shanxi province, and our manufacturer factory is in Wuxi, Jiangsu province in China. Leveraging on our technology innovation, now we have built 5 business segments, which include the monocrystalline silicon wafers, cells and modules, distributed utility PV systems, and green hydrogen equipment systems. We are also committed to be the advocate, practitioner, and the leader in the sustainable development of global clean energy. In 2020, LONGi became the only Chinese company to join the Three Climates Organization 100 initiative and has also joined the Science-Based Target initiative. We committed to reaching a greenhouse gas emission reduction target aligned with the 1.5-degree goal, and to empower our global operation with 100% renewable electricity by 2028. We also committed to installing energy management system for operational locations by 2025, improving energy productivity by 35%. Besides, we committed to installing sufficient charging facilities for electrical vehicles in the following years, steering our employees to use more electric vehicles in daily transportation for less air pollution and better climates. The sun shines on us fairly, but its energy is never distributed fairly. At LONGi, we advocate for fair energy distribution, giving back the sunlight that we all deserve. This is our initiative. Starting from solar energy, you might ask why LONGi developed a hydrogen business. In 2018, just like today, also on the COP event, our president, Mr. Li Zhenguo, delivered a speech proposing the solar for solar development model, which means while creating low-cost clean energy products for the world, the company uses clean energy and green manufacturing practices in its operation whenever possible. This is our commitment and our responsibility as a leading company to the planet ecology and health. Since then, we began to conduct the strategic research and relevant layouts in the hydrogen energy industry. We believe that coupling green hydrogen technology with the photovoltaic sector will be the key solution to achieving carbon neutrality. This is an overview of the green power plus green hydrogen model. We use the electricity generated by the renewable energy to supply to our electrolyzer that splits the water into hydrogen and oxygen. The hydrogen then will be used in different application scenarios, as we just mentioned at the very beginning, which the industries that hardly to electrify. And in the whole process, you can see that there is no carbon emission. By providing the safe and reliable, efficient, and value-added green hydrogen production equipments, we are supporting the rapid decline of the LCOH. In the hydrogen production process, the green hydrogen production equipment that we provide is not only the electrolyzer stack, it includes also the electrical equipment, such as the voltage transformer, the rectifier. Together with the stack, we also provide the gas-liquid separation unit and a purification unit. And after the whole process, the hydrogen, the purification rate of the delivered hydrogen will reach 99.999%. And by the end of this year, our production capacity is expected to reach 1.5 gigawatts and 5 to 10 gigawatts by 2025. Green hydrogen already has an absolute economic advantage in some regions, as the cost of green power generated from the renewable energy sources continue to decrease. The cost of electricity for green hydrogen will also drop significantly. Now we have already some successful projects in operation and under commissioning. By the global collaboration, we believe that there will be more and more demonstration projects to be deployed by LONGi Hydrogen in the near future. With the development of human society, carbon neutrality has become a consensus, and energy transition in the next 30 or 40 years is already a definite event. Fortunately, we have found the solution, and we are on the way to converting from carbon-based energy to silicon-based energy. Powered by green hydrogen, the energy transition will be feasible, and carbon neutrality will definitely be achieved. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Deng Yuyao, for the wonderful cases from the company here. And next, we have two speakers from online and all from industrial association. And first is Mr. Gao Yang, the Deputy Director of the Green Recycled Plastic Supply Chain Joint Working Group, GRPG. And he will bring us reducing plastic pollution and tackling climate change. And Gao Yang, you can share your screen.
Hello and good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to present this special topic to address the main two crises globally, plastic pollution and climate change. I'm from GRPG, an international platform for recycling plastic. I'm also international advisor for China National Resources Recycling Association. Now I'm sharing the slides with you. Okay, so today the world is faced with three major crises, including climate change, biodiversity degradation, pollution and waste. And the plastic pollution is actually closely linked with three crises. Before we move on to today's topic, I would like to address the nature of plastic pollution. The plastic pollution, as we know, the plastic itself is not a pollutant. The nature of plastic pollution is actually the leakage into the natural environment caused by improper control of plastic waste. The current severe plastic pollution is a result of long-term accumulation in history. As we know, we are now promoting the reduction of plastic pollution, but the reduction doesn't mean reducing the production and consumption of all plastic products. Reduction mainly refers to reducing the generation of plastic waste and also the consumption of unnecessary plastic products, for instance, single-use or we call disposal plastics. And when we think the solutions, for example, alternatives to plastic products, we need to be very cautious. We need to see from the view of life cycle assessment, methodology, and the environmental footprint. Sometimes alternatives to plastic products are not necessarily more eco-friendly. So let's take a closer look at the global current status quo. According to the UNEP report last year, approximately 9.2 billion tons of plastics have been produced since 1950. In 2018 alone, more than 343 million tons of plastic waste were generated, and 90% of which was composed of post-consumer plastic waste. OECD also released the Global Plastic Outlook this February. After taking into account losses during recycling, only 9% of plastic waste was recycled. The remaining 22% was disposed of in uncontrolled dump sites, burned in open pits, or leaked into the environment. That is why this year, in March, during the annual Environmental Assembly of the United Nations, it is very clearly stated by the spokesperson, by 2050, greenhouse gas emissions associated with plastic production, use, and disposal would account for 15% of allowed emissions. Some 11 billion tons of plastic waste flow annually into oceans. This may triple by 2040. A shift to a circular economy can reduce the volume of plastic waste entering oceans by over 80% by 2040 and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by at least 25%. We were very proud to see a historic resolution was adopted in March, ending plastic pollution towards an international legally binding instrument. By 2024, we will see a new international legally binding agreement to end plastic waste and address the plastic production, design, and disposal. Another research we have seen from Energy Transition and MacArthur Foundation, the current emissions mainly come from energy, but the remaining 45% are actually from products. The only solution to address the remaining 45% would be circular economy. They also quote value chains from food, steel, cement, plastic, and aluminum to address this issue. We have seen the global status quo. What about China? What about our actions regarding plastic pollution prevention and control? China's policy on plastic pollution control and management have evolved through 3 stages in the past 20 years. From 1990s to 2007, Chinese government mainly focused on several specific issues of plastic pollution, especially for disposal plastic products. In the second stage, from 2008 to 2019, we mainly focused on circular economy with the basic principles of 3R, and we also adopted the Circular Economy Promotion Law of China. The most recent stage, we are now focused on the management throughout the entire plastic value chain with the life cycle assessment perspective. Last year, the State Council issued the guiding opinions on accelerating the establishment of a sound economic system featuring green, low carbon, and circular development. The government encouraged enterprises to adopt green design, select green materials, and also improve recycling of waste products to ensure the products are green and environmentally friendly throughout the whole life cycle. And the efforts will be accelerated to build a waste recycling system for renewable resources, such as waste paper, plastics, etc., to increase the overall resources efficiency and the recycling rate. How about the next 5 years? Chinese government issued a lot of 45-year plan, which will be accomplished by 2025. And we are very happy to see one plan is dedicated on plastic pollution prevention and control only. In this policy, there are 6 main pillars. The first one is the reduction from the source to promote eco-design of plastic products, reduction of consumption of disposable plastic products, and promotion of plastic alternative products. The second pillar would be recycling, improve the plastic waste recycling system. The third one will be focused on plastic garbage cleaning in the water, in shipper rivers and the lakes. And also Chinese government also would focus on energy recovery, rural plastic waste control, and agricultural plastic waste control. Not only just a focus on the pollution, we also link the pollution to our carbon neutrality goal. Chinese government also issued another policy regarding action plan on peaking carbon dioxide emission before 2030. In this policy, there are 10 main tasks. One of the tasks is a circular economy. The Chinese government will continue to improve the resource recycling system, strengthen the promotion and application of products with recycled content, and remanufacture products. By 2025, the recycling capacity of 9 major renewable resources, including waste plastic, will amount to 450 million tons. And by 2030, the amount will reach 510 million tons. So what do we have accomplished so far? We have built the large-scale plastic waste recycling system with extensive coverage. The concepts of ecological design and the green consumption have been widely promoted in China. And we also have formed a social governance system for plastic pollution control. As a result, our plastic waste recycling rate has amounted to more than 31%, which is more than 3 times than the global average rate. In 2021 alone, China collected some 9 million tons of plastic waste, increased by 19%. And this year, it is anticipated the collection volume of plastic waste will amount to 21 million tons, with an increase of 10.5%. Not only just by the government provide guidance, provide incentives, the solution and actions were actually taken by the industry and enterprises. That is why in 2020, 3 organizations formed a new platform, Green Recycling Plastic Supply Chain Group. It was initiated by China Petroleum and Chemical Industry Federation, China National Resources Recycling Association, and China Plastic Processing Industry Association. We aim to unite in building an integrated system of green and recycled plastic supply chain. So far, more than 50 enterprises joined on the platform. They include material suppliers, manufacturers, consumer goods brands, collectors, and recyclers. As you can see, the enterprises now are not only Chinese companies, but also global leaders in the whole plastic value chain. Through GRPG, we established a community of green and recycled plastics, exchange important information, conduct policy adequacy and research, formulate standards at the national, industry, and association level. We also showcase a lot of best practice on technology, and the enterprises can get easily access to certification and testing services. For instance, this year, we actually formulated a new standard regarding recycled plastics for carbon footprint calculation. This new standard will allow enterprises to calculate how much contribution they have been made to the carbon neutrality goal by utilizing more recycled content in their products and packaging. We believe with joint efforts, we can end plastic pollution and contribute to the carbon neutrality goal in the near future. Thank you. Thanks for your time. That's my sharing.
Okay, thank you, Gao Yang. And now we have our last speaker here, and it's a speaker from the China, the Deputy Director of the China Sustainable Consumption Promotion Department of China Chain Store and Franchise Association, Ms. Li Chong, and you can share your screen now. Okay. Maybe we need audio here, and we cannot hear Li Chong.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's okay now. You can play your radio.
Okay. Okay.
I think that this video is little intermittent. Maybe we can play the video here by our technical group. You can play the video?
Of course.
Can you help me play the video? It's okay? You can play the video? No?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think the website, I think the speed problem, and we cannot see and heard the voice from the Mr. Pei. Okay, maybe you can give me back from here. I have the video. I can play here. Okay.
Okay. So shall I finish the sharing of the screen?
Yep.
Okay. Is it stop now?
You can share the screen.
Okay. So is it working?
No, seems stuck here. We only see the black.
Okay. So maybe I can just continue my speech without
okay.
the PowerPoints or the video.
Okay, no, you can go on now.
Okay. So it's well, it's my pleasure to be here and share my presentation on the low carbon consumption tackling climate change. And it's well, unfortunately, we can't watch the video delivered by Dr. Pei Liang. But anyway, I will share the actions taken by China Chain Store and Franchise Association (CCFA) on promoting sustainable consumption and climate change and addressing climate change. So I'm not sure if I can share the PowerPoints now without the video. And so China Chain Store and Franchise Association, CCFA, is CCFA's action on promoting sustainable consumption can be categorized into three main themes. First is sustainable supply chain, and then sustainable consumption and sustainable operation. So, our work is mainly based on the professional committee of CCFA, that is CCFA Sustainable Consumption Promotion Roundtable, and All China Environmental Federation is one of our organizations of the. Been working together on promoting sustainable consumption on different activities, and so the industrial research we have been keeping following the progresses of corporates. No matter it's chain stores or e-commerce platforms, we can see that more and more companies is taking actions and to incorporate the climate actions into their own management. For example, a lot of enterprises has been analyzed their climate risks according to the TCFD framework. And we can also see that no matter the chain stores or the e-commerce platforms are taking actions to address transition risks and physical risks caused by the climate change. And more importantly, more and more companies are disclosing their progresses and achievements in tackling climate change. And on sustainable supply chain and operation practices, CCFA has four themes to deepen the actions of the industry to reducing carbon emission. So on green logistics, we launched the supporting scheme for building agricultural supply chain project with support from the Switch Asia of the EU. And one of the major aspects of this project is to promote the application of standardized returnable crates to use on fruits and vegetables products. So by standardization on the carriage, we can reduce food loss and waste on the supply chain of fruits and vegetable products. So in that way, we can contribute to reducing carbon emissions in the logistic links, and to improve the environmental benefits alongside the supply chain. And on green procurement, we are also in progress of drafting the industrial and standards on green procurement, and to improve the awareness and through the application of such standards, and to more companies can use this guidance and to introduce more green, low carbon, and eco-friendly products to the consumers. And on green refrigeration, we are also exploring the application of natural refrigerants, especially among the supermarkets. And on the other hand, we also we also launched a themed training on green refrigeration to improve skills and techniques for the maintenance workers and the technicians in the supermarket equipment maintenance sector. So in this way, we help reduce the direct emissions caused by the leaking of refrigerants. And on the green operation, we also focus on the reduced food waste and redistribution. And we also have several tools to be launched within this year. And talking about the green transition and tackling climate change, we developed different guidance and tools to help the companies in the industry to take actions. And from the guidelines on tackling climate change and operation, this year we launched the corporate carbon management system construction guidance guide for the retail sector. And for these two guidelines, we also cooperate with CDP and to give a more up-to-date and practical guidelines for the companies to use to reduce their carbon emissions in their management. And for the actions on promoting sustainable consumption, CCFA have established the Green Sustainable Consumption Week was launched in 2013 to promote sustainable consumption for chain business industries. And through the online and offline channels of the member enterprises to deliver green consumption knowledge, such as eco-labels and green and low-carbon lifestyles for the consumers. And in this year, in response to the dual carbon goals of China, and with support from Energy Foundation, we launched these communication package and tools for the enterprises to use in their consumer activities. And in this tool, we identified 5 consumption scenarios, including restaurants and coffee shops, supermarkets, beauty and outdoors, and living space, as well as the online shopping. And in this tool, we provide more low carbon choices and related information for the consumers to make a more low carbon consumption choice. And during important environmental festivals in this year, we have launched several campaigns to promote low carbon consumption. And so far, we have more than 20 enterprises and more than 1,000 stores participated. And through the online channels, such as social media, member communities, takeaway platforms, and we also have the cross-sector dialogue with the music radio called Hit FM to reach broader audience to raise their awareness in low carbon consumption. And so we believe that under the guidance of the dual carbon goals of China, there will be more companies, brands, organizations, media, and other stakeholders to join the action of promoting green and low carbon consumption. So, and in the end, let me shortly introduce China Chain Store and Franchise Association. We are the official representative of retailing and franchise industry in China, and now we have around 1,200 member enterprises and covering retailing, restaurants sectors, and service sectors. And we are really hoping that by this side events to keep communication with everyone. And no matter as a worker or in an environmental NGO or as consumers, we encourage everyone to discover more low carbon consumption factors around yourself in daily life.
Okay.
So let's join hands and explore a more low carbon consumption future. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Li Chong. And I think the last minute should give to the president the pay, and I will play a video here. Okay, maybe the technical could give me the audio here. I play the video here, yeah, because the online is a little stuck here.
利用会员企业遍布城乡的连锁门店，开展消费者可持续消费行为的引导和环境友好型商品的推广，并通过低碳示范商店、减少食物浪费、限制塑料用品的使用、绿色供应链等一些专题的项目，推动行业践行社会责任，为实现联合国可持续发展的目标，做出我们消费品行业应有的贡献。在这个过程
Okay, and today we just finished it, and I think here's the one last minute. I think all the speakers online could turn on your camera, and we can have a group photo. Okay. Okay, all the speakers online, you can turn on your camera. And I think the guests on site, you can just come to our the front booth, and maybe we can take a group photo together. Thank you for listening.